Innovation Unplugged from the Alabama Community College System's Innovation Center takes you inside Alabama's workforce development. Join us for enlightening conversations with community leaders and industry experts showcasing experiences, addressing key issues, and celebrating successes in the workforce initiatives across the state.
Welcome back to another episode of Innovation Unplugged. I'm Houston Blackwood, Workforce Director for the Innovation Center, and your host for today, co-host today is Matt Heaton. He's been around for a while. You guys know and love him dearly, and our very special guest today is from the Tuscaloosa area, Perry Goins. He's the Staff Development Manager for the MI facilities in the Tuscaloosa area. Tuscaloosa area or the whole state?
Well, we have 3 psych facilities, so over the whole state.
Okay.
Yeah. Psych facilities. Yeah.
He's the big tiger.
No, not at all.
Big dog. Okay.
Not at all. Well,
Well, we're glad you're here. We got a lot to talk about, and I'll be honest with you, like I did not see this whole thing coming like it has landed.
Yes, sir.
When we started the mental health worker course, yeah. I didn't know enough about it, and I wasn't sure. But I've been so impressed with what you guys have done with it and how you've taken it as an association and an industry and said, yes, that's what we're doing. So welcome here, Matt. How you doing?
I'm great.
You good? Are you Will Ferrell or the other guy in Step Brothers? What's your mood today? John Riley.
I'm feeling Will today.
Feeling Will?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
let's get this right.
Yeah. What about you? If you were a movie character today, who would it be?
I am Denzel.
Okay.
in Training Day.
Oh.
We finna get it.
I did not come prepared.
King Kong.
Come prepared.
I don't think Denzel and Will would. I think I'm gonna have to change character.
That'd be a very interesting movie. Okay. Well, we're glad you're here.
Yes, sir.
Perry, Denzel, Training Day. Like, you brought it hard.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
It's a really good movie. But anyway, hey, give us a quick rundown of who you are, what you do, and how you got to this point right here.
Yeah, so I am Perry Goins. I am originally from Birmingham, Alabama. I've been with the Alabama Department of Mental Health for almost a decade now.
Okay.
Yeah, so originally I was the Staff Development Director for Bryce Hospital. And then our leadership at the time thought it would be a great idea to start merging departments to have more consensus around the 3 psych hospitals. So you have Bryce Hospital, Taylor Hardin, and the Harper Center. And so now I am the Staff Development Manager for the MI facilities. So I have a team stationed at each facility, and we provide the new employee orientation, continuing education training, all things training. So if there's a need for training, then you have to come see us.
Okay.
For sure.
Got it. So you're the gatekeeper to getting folks started well.
Skilled, yes, sir.
Love
Yes,
that.
sir.
So and that's our jam. For the listening audience, it's like 3 people.
Yeah.
More than that. It's not true. Like we're pretty popular. But like they understand, like we are short term, we are entry level in most cases. But what you guys have done with that to really kickstart that training to make them be done well, it's really cool. But before we get into all that, a lot of folks understand what mental health is, but they might not know what the Department of Mental Health does.
Yeah.
So give us a quick rundown of what that looks like.
Yeah. So right now, and we're strengthening. The state is really strengthening our mental health department. Right now, we have. I'll say this. Right now, there is more of a need for mental health. Last, 10 years, there's been an increased need, increased help from the community. Not only the community, school systems, the correctional facilities, and the community as a whole. So we want to provide care for those individuals. So just like our values, we serve, empower, and we support. So that's our goal as a department. We want to make sure that we reach those individuals who are struggling with mental illnesses, substance abuse, those who are on the spectrum, those who are dealing with developmental disabilities. So our goal is to ensure that we provide those services, resources for them and their families to live, the most optimal life that they possibly can.
Yeah, loaded question here, and if it's too on the nose,
No.
tell me so. You mentioned you've been there 10 years. In the last 10 years, the need for a wellness and care. Would you say the last 5 years after the pandemic have been? Did that highlight some of the things that were already existing, but we just didn't know what to call it?
I think so. I think the last 5 years, I think mental health has become more normal to say. Before then, I think it was still a little taboo for people to talk about it, people to go seek help. But after COVID, I think it affected everyone. It didn't matter what color, didn't matter what religion, didn't matter what sex, didn't matter anything. It affected everyone. So I think that that kind of made it, that allowed it to be a little bit more normal. So we've seen, an increase of services, and that's a good thing. My trade, counselor by trade, I went to school for counseling, and so to see the people come out and seek support and seek help, it's amazing to see. And then not only just people, but men in particular, coming out, and because it's hard for us to open up, but yeah, so we've been seeing the increase of people coming out for help. So it's and I think that in that as a department, we've been meeting and trying to meet that need. But with all those individuals coming in for support, it's double-sided. So we are, we're kind of stretched thin. Yeah. So we're trying to work to meet that need, but at the same time, trying to keep the staff motivated, morale up to support that need. So we you see burnout sometimes, and you see overwhelmingness, from the staff trying to keep up with the problem. Yeah. So it's kind of double-edged sword there. But yeah, we did see an increase around that time though, for sure.
One thing I don't see anybody call it out, but you mentioned men specifically, and I would say that of all the things we mentioned, the mental health awareness is over all socioeconomic classes too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For the first time, everybody's got a problem. And it's okay if you do.
Yeah.
But what I've seen, and I think it's because we're in this world now, but in the trades, I see these all the time. The blue collar guys and their mental health, well being.
Oh man,
like the stress of those guys, and I've never done that job, so I can't speak to it. But just like the stress of the timelines and the long hours and the physical toil, and early, So that's curious to me, like how that really plays out. Obviously, you put you on the spot. You couldn't say, I've got this many blue collar guys, like whatever. But have you seen more men jump in?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's finally becoming okay, or it's getting to a point where they feel like I just need help. I've never worked in the field, that blue collar field. I mean, if you ask me to fix a car, give me a hammer and some duct tape. I will figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the men are starting to finally be okay with being vulnerable. That V word. So I do see an increase definitely in that demographic.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
As a fellow man, it is as I get older, it's very powerful to say, what, today is not a good day.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
Well, and mentioning the pandemic, you had a couple of options for couldn't really go and do things. So your social media and your news, it seemed like during that time it was spoken about a lot more to allow people to, it's okay to talk about. Yeah. And it was a harder time then, but I think, like you said, it's enabled more people to feel comfortable to talk about it moving forward.
For sure. Yeah.
So really, in terms of like how you guys are dealing with it, like when, no matter where they come from or how many, like this course in your world, getting folks ready to do the work, right? When you look at these different competencies, lab and safety, patient introduction, daily living, vital signs, med management, crisis intervention, and therapeutic environment. Like which one of those is doing the most work for you right now?
I think several, in particular crisis intervention. So teaching individuals how to de-escalate situations. And when you talk about, crisis intervention, we've seen the trend of, we have a lot of employees coming in. This is the first job.
Oh,
yeah. First job. So
that's heavy.
Yeah. So no mental health experience at all. And so we're starting from scratch. So we have to, teach them what crisis intervention is, and then how to manage it. Along with that, we have to teach them, what a therapeutic environment is. So it's like therapeutic. What does that even mean? So teaching empathy, teaching respect, dignity, all those things you think somebody would know, but you can't take that for granted. Teaching compassion. So we have to really instill into the individuals that, hey, we have to take care of these individuals like they're our own family. How would you want somebody to treat your family member if they were going through a hard time in life, a very traumatic experience in life? So how would you want them to be treated? So when we talk about crisis intervention, it also goes into ethical documentation. How do you document appropriately? How do you put down what's in your mind on paper where it makes sense, where it is now a legal binding document. So we have to go a little bit deeper in that little arena. So but I think those two, that crisis intervention, that therapeutic environment, creating that rapport with the individuals, because many times I tell individuals all the time, the best way to treat or care is to get to know that person. You have to build some type of rapport with that person. Then that's when you can start building that trust. So we try to train and instill these things into them, because I feel like training is kind of the bridge between ideas and actually performing that care. So we, that's kind of, my motto. I teach my team, hey, we need to build a rapport with the staff that we're training, so they can, buy in. It's all about that buy-in too. Right. Once you figure out that why am I here? Once you start to give it purpose, then, that care becomes a little bit more intentional. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and I've had some conversations with other folks that have gone through this course and maybe taken this with the community health worker, but like your points to the crisis intervention and the therapeutic, and mentioning the spectrum and the mental illness, like you're building that relationship. But just because my routine and timeline says 11:30 is time for bath, if that relationship that you've made says it's not time, that's when you step back and you don't want to ruin that what you've created over. We've got to do this now.
There it is. Yeah, you building that relationship. So when there is a crisis intervention, we can verbally de-escalate the situation. So now I built a rapport with you. Okay, listen, if you don't want to take a bath right now, if you don't want to take meds, hey, let's wait 10 minutes. We'll come back and try it again. Yeah. I'll walk with you to the cafeteria or whatever the case may be. I'm here for you. So it builds that trust factor that those individuals, those clients need, because they're going through some of the most traumatic experiences in their life. I mean, we are, and when I used to have to teach the classes, I would, tell those individuals, we are one experience away from being in the position that they're in. One experience. That's it. And it'll happen in, a second of a time.
Yeah. Where was it maybe church, small group? Some stat said that we're only 3 decisions away from being a felon.
Oh yeah.
Or things like that. You see like a person that is labeled homeless, like you don't know what it might have been 2 things that happened that made them that way, and they got behind and couldn't get out. And so it's crazy. I love to hear you say the I guess the cognizance of what's going on in that person's life and how we could be there so quickly. Yeah. I love that.
Man, I love it. And one quick story.
Yeah,
I can tell stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it just goes to the mindset of people, and how the mindset, you can change your whole life with just your mindset. So I was leaving dinner. Me and my wife were leaving dinner, and we were in Birmingham, and I was walking. We were walking to our car, and I saw the individual. This guy came up and he started talking. And he had his suitcase with him. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, he's homeless. All right, so he's talking. We joked around. At the end of the conversation, I reached in my pocket to give him some money, and he looked at me. He was like, "I'm homeless. I'm not poor." And I'm like, "Okay." Oh. I'm like, "Wait. Okay. All right." So he was like, "I'm fine." And he took his suitcase and walked on. So I'm like, all right. So in that moment, I'm like, okay, I just assumed that he was homeless, he was poor, but, for whatever reason, homelessness was, a comfort for him. He wasn't poor though. And he made that known. So I'm like, all right, cool. So it's just the mindset sometimes.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
There was a whole community in Huntsville. This is way off topic. There's a whole community in Huntsville one time.
Yeah.
I think right there around the downtown junction, 565 junction. And it was like there was law and order there, but they lived off grid. And they chose that. Like, some of them certainly were not poor. They just chose that lifestyle. Craziest thing.
Mindset, yeah.
Wild. Kick off. Next question.
So next portion is with the places you're working and the mental health worker course, that doesn't happen without one of our 24 community colleges.
Yeah.
Yours just happened to be Shelton State that walked with you, helped get what y'all got going now, because it's a good process, a great routine, and great schedule. So walk us through how you all partnered with Shelton to launch this mental health training.
Yeah. So I think it's been 2 years now. And from my recollection, so we were going through a tough time, especially during COVID. Right before COVID, actually, we started to see the trend start to come down where we were having retention issues, and then after COVID, it was a tough season, and I don't know how the phone call happened to partner with Shelton, but I'm glad that phone call. That's beyond my pay grade.
Right.
But when we finally partnered with them, we got together, and I remember. We were trying to figure out, okay, how can we make this actually work? How can we put these things in together to help the morale of the staff, to retain those individuals, to kind of decrease the retention problems that we're having. And so we went through our processes, the mental health side went through our processes, our competencies, our training model, and we got with Shelton and we was like, okay, how can we enhance this? How can we create, this super training? And so a lot of work, and then we end up partnering with you all as well, and then they were able to create these modules, online modules.
Yeah.
And so in those online modules, creating those real life scenarios, along with creating those real life scenarios, they added trainers to come in and assist our trainers. And so now we've created this pipeline of training that is taking our facilities and our department by storm. And when I tell you it has, increased the retention rate, so we have orientation every 1st and every 16th, twice a month. And we've been doing orientations twice a month for the last 7, 8 years. This past 16th. What's that? Yeah, this past 16th. Yeah. So this orientation period, we did not have a class for mental health techs. So we have retained enough techs to where we did not have to have a class. And when I tell you, that is amazing. So that shows that this program, this process is working. So we've been, honored, and the team has been so great together. And that's what collaboration is all about. That's what teamwork is all about. Finding the common goal and figuring out how do we make processes to get to that common goal. How do we make things simpler?
I'm gonna dig in on that. I don't think we're gonna go off script now. Because what you just said is powerful. Like, if you've been doing this for 7 years, and like twice a month, man, running through on the grind to find people, and this is the first time you have it, and I think Shelton doing such a good job of what they have to do to get the course in front of your people.
Yeah.
So what does that do for morale and, I guess, consistency in your facilities?
Yeah.
Knowing that the same people are there and they all know the same thing. Yeah. Talk about that consistency and just the morale. If that's different.
Yeah, for sure. The morale is definitely different, but consistency. Just to have just to ensure that when you're going through that training process, each employee, each new mental health tech is getting the same information. So they're coming in after they leave orientation with the same skill level set. Now, some may have more experience than the other, but the skill set that they need to be successful on the floor, they have that. So being able to have a consistent process lends to supervisors when they get on the floor not having to start from scratch with training. So now they can go more into, okay, let's go into details, the specifics of what you're going to be doing on this floor, not having to figure out, okay, let's go back through these competencies and, make sure you know what you're doing. Now they know how to do what is needed on those floors. So that builds consistency, that builds morale when you have staff that are coming in who are trained, who are skillfully trained. It's like, wow, we have reinforcements, we have help now. So it's been a big morale. Then the retention, so it helps everybody. It helps the HR department. So now they don't have to, do 30 or 40 interviews. Right. And then it helps my team. We're not grinding so hard. Because it's not so much physical, but it's mentally draining at times. You're having so many personalities. You have classes of 10, 12, 15, 18, 20 sometimes. So 20 personalities that you're trying to work with, that you're trying to, skillfully train so they'll be ready to be on the floor. So it's hard sometimes, mentally draining at times.
Yeah, I went to one of those pilots. Maybe it was the pilot. It was early, and Dr. Melton was the teacher.
Yeah, she was the teacher.
And I didn't know. I knew what it was supposed to look like. I didn't know how it was going to roll. Yeah, and it was so powerful because the personalities in that room, man, they were some strong. And she has a very strong personality and very good command of the classroom. But it was so cool to watch her navigate that. Yeah, I loved it. And then the students, they were hilarious. But and some of them had some experience, and so they were kind of sly with their with their, especially in the scenarios. But what we got out of it, I saw how at the end, everybody was speaking the same language. And it was really cool. Do you know that we've seen over 1,000 people go through this course collectively across the state? Man,
I knew the number was high.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it was that many.
Well, 649 of them were either open enrollment or through you.
Yeah.
And so then the other 350, if my math is right, I take my shoes off, count that up. But the other were K-12.
Oh, yeah. Okay?
So two parts there. Matt, jump in here because Matt is our career readiness manager.
Oh, good deal.
And he handles all the K-12. And it's a wild success because of him and Tom.
Hats off.
So you got these almost 700 adults going through, and I'd say primarily for you guys, right? Yeah. What's it like to have a two-pronged approach of those who are adults and know they're doing it, whether they know that's their career or not, and then potentially a bunch of high school kids who are like, okay, I think I'm compassionate enough and empathetic enough. Yeah. Like having those two approaches, what does that speak to the future of the morale and consistency in the mental health?
Man, we're training future leaders in that K through 12, training future doctors, future nurses, putting information, putting resources and those skills out there before they actually come in. So once they come in, again, having that skilled workforce, it saves less time having to train those baseline skills. So they're able to come in and provide instantly support and care that we need. And then I think it for the current staff, those staff coming in, it builds that morale. It shows that we are, number one, we care for the individuals that are in our services. Number two, it cares for the employees that we already have. It's like, sending those reinforcements. Reinforcements here. So it's like my son, it's his first time in basketball.
Okay, how old is he?
He's 6.
Okay.
And he doesn't know that dad was an all-star basketball player. So I'm trying to train him, listen, son, you have to make sure you walk in daddy's shoes now. You have to continue the legacy of all-stars, so so that's what this training is all about, continuing that legacy of building all-stars for mental health. But yeah, so to see how far it's come, to see how far training has advanced, technology has advanced, AI coming in and kids, the younger kids actually having, we're having to adjust the way we train. More tech, so I think the online portion, it absorbs more in them,
Okay.
The older individuals, they come in, pen and paper. They're good. Yeah. They're good. But that younger gen, what is it, Gen Z? I think maybe it's
Gen Alpha now. There's something after Z. Millennials, Gen Z.
I feel like it changes more often than it should.
Gen, who knows? Yeah.
Just get a common name for something.
So that new gen, like they're coming in, and they wanna be tech. How can we? So we had to. I think building that modules and those live scenarios, that really changed the game. That was a game changer for how we train, how we do training. So I think staying up to date is a big thing for us too.
Do you think this training would be as successful if it was all in person?
Ooh.
Or is it only successful? Is it most successful because there's the hybrid piece that they do before they ever get to you?
Yeah. So I think both, actually. I love that hybrid piece of, online portion and then the skills. So because it kind of cuts down on the monopoly of just doing or listening to one person the whole time. Because that's how we used to train.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one person teaching the whole time. And so it was hard to, retain the attentions of all those individuals. So especially you got 18 people in one class and one person's up there talking. And some people would get it, but we would lose others. Yeah. And so having this hybrid course, I think it helps with those different learning styles that come through training. So those individuals who are more tech savvy and love, to do everything on the phone, whatever. We can grab them, and then those individuals who do more where I just have to see it. We got the live skills that we do. So I think we're encompassing every learning style, so we can grab everybody.
Yeah.
So
I think with the hybrid model of all of these things, you're always going to have the ones that I could have 1,000 questions, but there's not a chance that I'm opening my mouth to ask it. But with that online theory, I can go back and do it.
Yeah.
Like, now I get it. Now I'm going to move forward.
That is.
I didn't have to feel embarrassed or anything like that.
Yeah. I think that the live skill portion is very important. Those live scenarios are very important because, like I stated before, those individuals coming in, this is their first time in mental health. So they don't know what it looks like. They have no clue what it is to deal with an individual who may be having vivid hallucinations, auditory hallucinations, visual hallucinations. So having those live scenarios and going through those and the trainers, they do such an amazing job, man. They should get what is it, Emmys? Is it Emmys for actors?
Yes,
yeah. So
you're right.
I walked by the class one time and I was like, wait, are they for real? Are they? So I had to take a second to look, but yeah. So they do a great job with trying to make it as realistic as possible for those individuals coming in. So I think that's very important. Making it real as possible as we can.
Well, you're right. And to those young people who have never experienced it, like we have a customer experience course that's about to be piloted, and it's not a call center course. It's every other industry.
Oh yeah.
Customer service. And so, but part of it is the scenario is walking in and someone just doesn't know what to do, or they're hot about their product.
Yeah.
That didn't work right.
Yeah.
But these kids have to look somebody in the eye and hear their problem in with a real human.
Yeah.
Oh boy, my son is okay because I'm very direct with him and I've made him be that way. But a lot of folks, man, so I'm thinking these young folks, it's gonna be so good for them to have to look somebody in the eye and solve a problem.
Yeah.
You're right there.
Yeah.
You're not going away. And I've seen that in that mental health work pilot. There was a student, and I think he took that scenario a little too far. Personally, I was very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But Dr. Melton was like, no, baby, we're good. She handled it so well. Yeah. And I was like, okay, Same thing. I was like, I don't know what's about to happen, but it was so good. And I'm glad to hear you say that. That's a big part of it, because that was the big focus when we were building it, making sure that that kicked off that way.
For sure. Yeah.
So I got a next question. I'm going to preface it with what we talked about. High school students taking this if they're in that health science cluster. And, if you're going into the medical world, that I'm going to have to be okay with seeing blood and needles. But to be able to have access at that level and at you guys' level for, like, at time, this is a lot to take home.
Oh, man.
At times.
Oh, yeah.
So what difference are you seeing since this course with the integration of workflow into your workplace through the Skills for Success course?
Yeah. So, we're seeing, big benefits. People are, I think the biggest thing is providing a space where people can figure out if this is for them. When I was coming out of college back in, 2010.
Okay.
My first job was with, and I didn't have a skill success. I didn't have, any type of mentor or anything. So my first job was working for this company, and we provided direct care support for adolescent kids, adolescent males at that. And the age group was from like 12 to 18.
Okay.
And I worked there for 1 year.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, like, I knew the day I left, I never wanted to work with another kid in my life. But it took that experience, it took that whole year.
Yep.
If I was able to have a, scenario like we have now, getting there, going through, the information, the resources, and talking about it beforehand, I think, it would have saved me a lot of time, a lot of trouble, a lot of headache, a lot of sweat.
A lot of heartache.
A lot of heartache. I've never, seen kids that strong in my life. And I was 18, 19, I graduated 20.
Yeah.
So I was 20. I was, I was a little smaller, but I was a little bit more cut than I am.
Yeah.
But, man, it was rough.
They grew up different.
Yeah, they grew up very different. But, I wish I had something like this. Some, skill success, something that I could have went to, that I could have gone through to say, okay, well, I don't know if this is for me, or to say, yeah, you know what, this is my path. I think I want to do more nursing, or I think I want to be a psychiatrist. So exposing them.
Yeah, that's something we struggle with. Like we serve the K-12, obviously, and so there's a career awareness portion.
Yeah.
So you take their view from this down to that.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, like, we have a budget, and like we can't spend all our money on, career awareness.
Yeah.
We want to have job attainment, but man, like, how powerful is that ultimately, that they don't waste other monies on stuff that they're never going to use. And so we're trying to figure out that balance of, like, what can we do with, like, theory only? And say, okay, well, here's 10 things. Like, which one do you like? Which one do you hate?
Yeah.
Okay, now let's lean in. So we're putting our money in a real, articulated path, but it's difficult.
Yeah, it really is. And I think that having people who are in that field, being able to give back, being able to come in and talk about, okay, this is what I do day to day. Last week I was at Tuscaloosa Leadership. I think it's called Tuscaloosa Leadership, and we did a little discussion panel with them about what workforce is, what services we provide. So it was very informative, because they're able now to go back and tell whatever job specific they're at, this is what happens, this is what they do, this is the service they provide. A lot of great questions about the Department of Mental Health and what we do. And so we were able to paint a picture. This is what happens here. And so it's not we're building Frankensteins in the basement or something. We're actually providing real services for people. Yeah.
So that's a great segue. Have you seen the client or patient care improve since you started using this as your base training?
Oh, for sure. Just to, you have decrease in incident reports, decrease in those psychiatric episodes. You're able to see more individuals be discharged. So they're meeting whatever goals that were set by the treatment team or by the judge, they're meeting those goals. So that is a big, telltale sign. When you have discharges, people are getting healthier. People are getting back to where they can live, successful in the society, whatever that looks like for them. So I think seeing that decrease and those codes and then seeing the retention for the employees, I think that helps as well. Like you can tell when people are staying, they're enjoying what they do. They're enjoying making a difference. They've actually started to, figure out that why, and now it means a lot to them. It's they have purpose of coming to work and helping those individuals in their care. So if it's just the small things, just talking with them, just having a talk with the clients, or when we're in the cafeteria, just sitting down while they eat, just comforting them. So I think we've seen a big change in the clients, how they act, how they respond, not only to the staff but to treatment. That's the biggest thing, because they have to go through the treatment process to get back to a healthy lifestyle. So them going through that treatment process shows that we're making some form of a difference.
I love that.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes we don't know where the why is.
Yeah,
it's here in my paper, but I can't find it. Trying to find that, and so I was saw the results, and Shelton, Molly, and Holly out there in the lobby, just tickled to death that you're here to talk about y'all's partnership. Yeah, it's good to hear these success stories. So,
absolutely, I love working with them, and man, when I tell you, it's amazing. When people come together, and it doesn't matter what background you come from, lifestyle or whatever, but just to see people come together for a common goal and to help and support people, it's amazing to see, man. I love the teamwork. I love it.
Shelton's one of our best. Of course, we're bragging on them because it's their region, their product. But we see that we throw a lot at the colleges. We got 80 courses almost, 62 that the public can take.
Oh,
and how in the heck the college is going to run all that? They're not. They run it where it's needed. And this niche, in my opinion, if Shelton only ran CDL and mental health, cool. That's what's needed right here. Hey, rock on, baby. Have a good time.
Man, I almost signed up for the forklift training.
You can.
And it was a forklift and excavator. I think it was excavator training. I do a lot of hunting, so I did. I need to learn how to move a little land sometimes. So
dig those washouts up.
There it is.
That's fun. Well, it's still available. They can take care of you for sure.
Absolutely.
Hey, biggest question we always ask every guest: in 5 years, Perry, you've been doing the work and doing all the training. What are you toasting to in 5 years?
I am toasting to a fully staffed hospital. I am toasting to us as a department walking in our full potential. We found that purpose, and we are giving our optimal service to the patients. So I'm toasting to that, and a raise. Toasted. No, I'm just.
We'll pitch that to the governor. Well, for sure.
We'll make sure she gets the link to this.
Listen, Governor Ivy, we have a request.
Yeah, there we go.
Man, the governor's been very good to us.
That's good. Yeah,
sure. So can you do this? And I think this is one of those things. It doesn't matter what you said. What industry, doesn't matter what walk of life. Mental health is extremely important, and having the qualified staff there to be smooth and accepting and to walk those people into that journey, whatever that looks like.
There it is.
It's powerful. So we appreciate your work here. Closing thoughts, Matt?
Yeah, great. It's always a great topic to talk about, and then to see what we've all created and how it's actually working in industry is always great to hear.
Likewise.
Yeah. Final thoughts from you, and how do people get connected to you?
So, final thoughts. So I want to say that mental health, the Alabama Department of Mental Health, our values: serve, empower, and support. And we want to make sure that we get that out to community. We want to make sure that we are being able to be that resource for the community. And we have our crisis centers, those 6 crisis centers. We have our 988 emergency call for those individuals who are in crisis. And we have our crisis mobile teams. So all these things that we've put in place for the community to access these resources. So we want them to go out, and if they need any more information, you can definitely go to www.alabama Department of Mental Health. They have all the resources there. And we also, for any individuals looking, employers, colleges, agencies, visit Train for Alabama.
That's right. Hey, great plug, man.
Yeah.
Hey, we are done. We are done.
Mark that out. I don't even have to cover that in the
Don't
closing.
even have to cover it, man. Well done.
I didn't steal your thunder, did it?
No.
Okay,
you
good.
did, but I'm happy you did. That's awesome. But for real, go into your website, and I did not know that 988 was a thing.
Yes, sir.
That's
it
awesome.
is. Yes, sir. So we have 24-hour coverage, so people can call when they're going through a crisis. We'll help them find resources at that moment, whether they need to go to one of the crisis centers, whether they're just having those suicide ideations. We have individuals to talk them through that and find relief, find help for them. So yeah, 24
That's
hours.
awesome, man. 24 hours a day. Wow.
Yes,
cool.
sir.
Well, Perry, we appreciate you. I can tell why it's working so good.
Yes, sir.
I have seen the light. I
There it
understand.
is. There it is.
Good.
There it is.
Matt, take us away.
Yes. As Perry plugged for us, if there's anything you hear us talk about, if you're interested in learning all of the courses that we did speak about, check out our website at trainforalabama.com. And this is going to conclude another episode of Innovation Unplugged. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow on all your social media platforms. And have a great afternoon. Thank you.